Good evening and welcome to the 2026 Cookeville City Council Candidate Forum presented by the Herald-Citizen and WCTE Public Television at the Cookeville Performing Arts Center. We have a couple of announcements before we get started. Please keep your aisleways clear and stow all personal belongings beneath your seat. Food, drinks, and flash photography are prohibited in the auditorium. Please silence all your devices now. Note the emergency exits that are located to the right and rear of the auditorium seating area. My name is Lindsay Pride, and I'm the editor of the Herald-Citizen, and this is Jim Herron. He's the news editor of the Herald-Citizen, and we will be your moderators for tonight's forum. We want to thank you for attending tonight as we learn more about 10 of our candidates for Cookeville City Council: Ali Baji, Luke Eldridge, C.G. England, Chad Gilbert, Sam Matson, Kelly McCorkle-Parkinson, Dee Prince, Sam Raper, Nick Stone, and Trenton Strode. Please go ahead and give our candidates a round of applause, please. All right, so we want to thank you all for attending tonight. And I just want to note that one of our candidates who will be on the ballot, Mason Harville, will not be here tonight. And there is also a write-in candidate, Jason Flatt, who was unable to attend tonight as well. We want to thank the Cookeville Performing Arts Center staff, Leisure Services Director Chad McDonald, Cultural Arts Superintendent Rex Bennett, Jordan Strelecki, Kim Brickwelker, Emma Waltenbaugh, Patrick Manley, David Michael, Teresa Wilkinson, and WCT staff, including CEO Avery Hutchins, Station Manager Craig Lefevre, Ralph Welch, Craig Gray, Zach Beckman, Jacob Carr, Alicia Watson, and Greg Waterworth. Without these individuals, tonight's event would not be possible. Also want to thank everyone who took the time to submit a question for tonight. The format will begin with each candidate giving a 90-second introduction. Then we will move to 4 rounds of questions. Each candidate will receive a different question, and each candidate will have 1 minute to answer. After the last round of questions, each candidate will have 2 minutes for closing comments. We will start introductions with Ali Baji.
First of all, I'd like to thank the Herald-Citizen and also WCTE for putting together this forum to help keep the voters informed, and an opportunity for us to speak on certain issues and tell a little bit about ourselves. I'm Ali Baji. I'm a current city councilman. I'm a Cookeville native. I was born at Cookeville General Hospital, raised here, joined the United States Navy, a Desert Storm veteran, Tennessee Tech graduate. I've been in IT, infrastructure, strategic management, project management since 1993. And I have been at Cookeville Regional Medical Center in the IT realm for over 22 years. And I'm a current city councilman, and I have had the honor of serving in my community for the last 4 years, and hope to get that honor once again. Thank you.
Yes, Chad Gilbert.
Lindsay, thank you. Thank you, Jim. And thank you to WCTE and the Herald-Citizen for hosting. My name is Chad Gilbert. I'm one of your current city councilmen seeking re-election. I was raised on a farm about 10 minutes east of here, and met my wife, Anna, in tennis class when we were freshmen at Tennessee Tech when I was seeking an engineering degree. And that's where our Cookeville story starts. She and I, we realized real quick we had a lot in common. One of them was we didn't mind a little hard work. So we started our careers early in life, even a little bit before I got out of school. We worked odd jobs. We mowed yards together. We were inseparable. We did everything together. Eventually, we scraped enough together to buy that first house. It was a little 900 square foot fixer-upper that we did all the work in ourselves. She and I were talking the other night. We were looking back and remembering we didn't have enough money for a full-size refrigerator. We ended up having to stack 2 dorm refrigerators on there. But I mentioned that now. She and I were nostalgic about that recently, but it seems appropriate to mention during a season like this when we're thinking about electing leaders for the next 4 years, and that opportunity that she and I had in this Cookeville. The character of Cookeville is what's at stake here, and she and I were afforded that, and we want to make sure that we present that and protect that for generations to come.
All right, CG England.
I am CG England. Thank you all to everyone that's putting on this event. I know events like this take a team of people behind the scenes doing a lot of things. Thank you to everyone that took time out of your busy schedules to be here and invest in the future of your community. I am excited to potentially serve on Cookeville City Council. I love Cookeville. I first came to Cookeville in 2002 as a Tennessee Tech student. And in 2006, when I graduated, I couldn't wait to leave, just to be honest. I was young. I didn't know what Cookeville was. It wasn't big enough for me to Atlanta, and started my career in corporate America, where I stayed for 9 years. And I always came back to Cookeville to see my college roommates who had stayed here and gotten married and started businesses and had babies. And every time I would leave, I would get sad to leave. So I made the decision in 2014 to move back. And since then, I have started CG's Boutique, which is 12 years old. My husband, Michael, and I met a year after I moved back to Cookeville. We're about to celebrate 10 years of marriage. We founded the Exceptional Bean Coffee Shop together, and we have just really invested in this community. I currently serve on 3 local nonprofit boards. I'm very passionate about giving back and being of service, and I look at this as an opportunity to serve my community that I love very much. Thank you, guys.
All right, D. Prince.
All right. Thank you to the Herald-Citizen. Thank you to WCTE for this wonderful event. Thank you to the CPAC staff for hosting us. Thank you and good evening to my colleagues that are sitting up on stage. I don't say I'm running against these people. I say I'm running with these people for City Council. Thank you to EMT. Thank you to Fire. Thank you to law enforcement for being here. Y'all the real MVPs. I'm a Cookeville native, 34 years, graduate of Tennessee Tech University, HR professional for the past 20 years, deacon at my church, Kainos Church, married to my wonderful wife, Jade, who is a Marine. I'm not allowed to say former, and thank you for your service, babe, with our 8 kids. And I'm running for City Council because City Council is a seat and a chair with responsibilities and duties. And it's a special experience when you have somebody who wants to bring diplomatic leadership, compliance, and respectful representation. And that's what I represent. And that's what I want to give to you, my neighbors, my friends, my family. And that's why I'm running for City Council. Thank you.
Kelly Parkinson.
Hi, my name is Kelly Parkinson, and I'm honored and humbled to be running for Cookeville City Council. I do want to thank the Herald-Citizen and WCTE and all the volunteers that are helping tonight's forum to go forward. We appreciate you. And for all of you that are in the audience here listening tonight, we appreciate that you want to be informed and make good decisions when it comes to voting, because your voice does matter. I moved to Cookeville 10 years ago because my husband took a position as the pastor at Stevens Street Baptist, and that's what brought us to Cookeville. And after living here just a very short time, he and we just quickly fell in love with this town. And we said, this is where we want to be forever. We want our kids to grow up here, stay here forever, get married, have lots of Parkinson grandchildren here. And so we really feel like Cookeville is our home. I have 6 awesome children. I homeschool my children. I didn't start homeschooling actually until we moved to Cookeville. I do run a large homeschool group here in the community, but I'm also the founder and director of a nonprofit called Loft 218, which rescues women and children from trafficking in India. And I've been doing that for 12 years, and currently we have rescued 566 women and children, and I'm very, very proud of that. I have worked in politics way back in the day. Before children, I did work on Capitol Hill with Congressman Jim DeMint there, and had a wonderful experience. And seeing that, those leaders there in Congress, I had a lot of direct contact with people at home, which really brings it back local, as I want to be able to help people locally here. Thank you.
Luke Eldridge.
Well, first off, I want to say thank you to the Herald-Citizen, WCTE, and all the staff here for putting this event on, and everybody that is here. Say welcome. This is a big task to put together, so appreciate you guys taking your time to do that. I'm current vice mayor. 4 years ago, we sat here answering questions, and that was an event, and this one will be nonetheless. I'm excited to be here alongside everybody answering questions so you can be informed and what's going on and how we think and operate. So, born and raised, I did take a little small trip to Overton County, but that was not my choice. I was in 7th, 8th grade. My parents, we had a farm up there. It was either that or go homeless. I did not want to do that. So moved in, graduated at Livingston Academy, went to Tech, and that's where I met my wife, who is here tonight, and I was a special ed major at first, then switched to psychology, so I have a psychology degree. We got married, have two great, awesome kids, a 12-year-old, soon to be 12-year-old boy and an 8-year-old girl. We homeschool them, and I work on the workforce, and I get to travel the whole Upper Cumberland, and Cookeville is awesome. Cookeville is the hub, and I love everything about Cookeville. But one thing I'm passionate about, we are youth leaders at our church, so it's the young generation and pouring into them, because those are our next leaders. But hopefully, after all this, you'll get to hear more about who I am and what I really stand for and what I'm passionate about. So I appreciate you being here. Thank you.
Nick Stone.
My name is Nick Stone. I would like to thank the Herald-Citizen, CPAC, and WCTE for all making this possible. Would like to thank everyone for showing up tonight. I know you have many other things that you could probably rather be doing, but as a longtime cyclist, Cookeville born and raised, double major from Tech, human resources and business management. I stayed in the bicycle industry for now 20 plus years. Having also worked on a board of Pedal Against PTSD, which is the goal was to try and get bicycles into the hands of people that have been affected by PTSD, either through war or home life. I look forward to being a person that can help this community in any way that I can. Thank you.
Next, we have Sam Matson.
Hello, I'm Sam Matson. I also would like to thank the Herald-Citizen, WCTE, CPAC, these longstanding, very important institutions in our community and the role they played over the years, but specifically for tonight as well. A little about me, I have been a soccer coach for almost 20 years, and I'm a little disappointed at the timing of this with the USA game going on right now. Go USA. But beyond that, I've also been an educator. I've taught at Cookeville High School for the last decade. I have taught at Tennessee Tech. I'm a 2-time graduate at Tennessee Tech, a Cookeville High School graduate, actually 3-time graduate of Tennessee Tech, and Cookeville High School graduate. I've said this basically at every event that I've spoken at, but I recognize the diverse populace of Cookeville, which is evident in this room right here. I'm a candidate for everyone, regardless of income, faith, skin color, whom you love, how you identify, your status as a voter. I've talked to multiple people who got slapped with a felony when they're 18 for selling drugs, who have lived productive lives, and I'm here for them too. So, thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Sam Raper.
Good evening. Thank you to the Herald-Citizen, WCTE, and the staff at CPAC for making tonight possible. And thank you to you for being here. An informed community is a stronger one. My name is Sam Raper, and I've spent my life building community in our local businesses, in our theaters, in our education, and in organizing community events. And I feel strongly that building community takes someone who's willing to listen, to work hard, and to bring people together. When I came to Cookeville in 1998 as a freshman at Tennessee Tech, I expected to be here for a few years, grab a degree, and move on. That's not what happened. I fell in love with this community, I stayed, I raised my kids here, and Cookeville became a place that I call home. I believe that Cookeville can be a place where people can build a life, not just make a living. I believe that growth shouldn't leave people behind. And I believe that we don't have to agree on everything to care about each other and to work together to do what's best for the city.
Thank you. Trenton Strode.
Check. Hi, everybody. My name is Trenton Strode. I am a Cookeville born and raised native. I'm a small business owner as well as a community advocate. And I'm running because Cookeville is at a defining period right now in its time. And we are one of Tennessee's fastest growing communities. We need leadership that is focused on our quality of life, our infrastructure, our housing, and economic development. So my goal is pretty much simple, is to keep our leadership focused on solving our problems, and also to make sure that growth is benefiting everyone in Cookeville and not just a small few, and also to keep Cookeville directed forward and planning for the future.
Thank you. So now we will get started with our first round of questions. Oh, yes, go ahead. So we will start right at the top with Ali Baji. If you're elected, what is your top priority?
My top priority is to continue the momentum that this past council has already started and built on that momentum, focusing on infrastructure projects, because you have to grow smartly, and nothing grows unless you have a good, strong infrastructure. You don't want to outgrow your infrastructure, because then all of a sudden you lose capacity and those types of things. And I just really like to continue that momentum.
Thank you.
Okay, this question appears to be for Chad. Let's see. Many cities host an annual Christmas parade. Should the city council be responsible for that? And if so, what should the process be?
So I'm aware that there are other cities that host parades, and I'm aware that we do not. Historically, we have never been in the parade business. We do, however, have a process that's fairly simple, and we are there to support as a city. There's a process to make an application where private clubs, citizens for that matter, anyone who has an interest in that can go through the application process, apply for that. Our city staff is happy to assist with that. So we have that ability to do that. And reflecting on that answer and where we've stood on this matter before, it seems a better way to spend our city's resources doing the matters of the city, the business of the city, and then let the private sector take care of when they want to have those initiatives.
Thank you. Next question is for CG, and it is: the city's inventory of available land for industrial development is limited. Would you support the purchase of additional properties by the city to increase this inventory?
I think if the increase was needed, if we're sitting on some property and there's not a need that we specifically need a different lot of land, then no, not just buy it to buy it. But if there is an industry moving in and we don't have the correct property and resources that they need, then yes, I would be for potentially buying new land.
Thank you.
This question's for Dee. What city street improvement do you consider to be the most critical?
Can I have Ali's question, please? No, I'm joking. So when I think about street improvements, when I think about our roads, I think about what areas have the most incidents or accidents. And so I think that deserves attention. And from what I understand, I believe it may be the intersection of Jackson and Willow that has the most reported accidents and incidences. So I would say that would be it for me in terms of improvements. But with anything that I do and any decision that I make, I want to make it as a team. So I would get with our SMEs, our subject matter experts, get with the city manager, road personnel, so we can figure out the best way to move that forward.
Thank you. Kelly Parkinson. If elected for the 2050 plan, would your overarching goal be to leave neighborhoods intact and push growth such as rezoning for high-density housing and commercialization away from the already overtaxed infrastructure, or to disrupt current neighborhoods with upzoning and increase the use of the already overtaxed infrastructure and push citizens out of their neighborhoods?
I attended the 2050 plan that was made for the public, and I sat and asked a lot of questions of John Ward and looked a lot at development and future lands and was asking those questions about where are these high density homes looking to go. And when I look at that map that they laid out, I feel like it's a good plan for the future. Of course, I don't think that we should push residents out. I think that city council should always be listening to the people first. And I do want to encourage citizens, if I've learned anything in running for office, is that you can go to all of these meetings. They are open and available to the public. So if you have a question or concern about building or your neighborhood, that you need to be at these meetings and voice your concerns, because I would want to hear them if elected on the council.
Thank you.
This is for Luke. Residents have raised concerns that our roads will not be able to handle the increasing traffic prompted by the opening of Target, Home Depot, and the restaurants at the Willows Shopping Center this fall. What can the city do to help with traffic going to and from this new development?
Well, it's more of what have we done. We have already been working on a project and trying to have a corridor between the east side, the west side, when it comes from behind Sam's up to Willow. So we're already being proactive in some of those things and trying to help with that pinch, because we know it's going to be a problem. And so we are being proactive in that. We're also using some systems with our lights with AI, and hopefully everybody understands that some of these lights are horrible, right? Yeah. And so we're trying to get that ready and get that synced and get that better. So we're being proactive already in that, and we just continue to push that along and check on that and make sure we're doing everything we know we need to do to make sure we can have those things plugged and ready to go before it happens. But as with any infrastructure, it takes time. So we are still working forward on that for sure.
Thank you. Nick, should the city council take steps to limit or restrict higher density multifamily residential development? Why or why not?
To me, I believe that all of that has to do with where it's located. And if you're going to put a whole bunch of apartments right in the middle of downtown, that might not be the best place for a bunch of apartments. But at the same time, we also need to think about the infrastructure and other ways for people to be able to get to work, not just driving a car, walking, public transportation, riding a bike, including bike lanes.
Thank you.
Questions for Sam. The 39 Depot plan is nearing completion. Will you support funding the completion of the plan? What component of the plan do you consider to be the most impactful for the Cookeville downtown?
I do support the completion of the 39 Depot project. I think that will be a wonderful addition to the downtown. I'm a little disappointed that the initial rendering that was provided ultimately is not going to come to fruition. I thought the idea of having a hotel downtown would have been really cool. I know we need the parking, and I think that will be a benefit to local businesses. The green space will be a nice touch as well. And that is a pretty difficult intersection, and as what I believe has been described as an oblongabout, could be a good solution for that. So yeah, let's do it.
Thank you. All right, the next question is for Sam Raper. Do you support the city's current form of government? Why or why not?
Yes, I do support the city's current form of government, because I guess if it's not broke, don't fix it. We have other things to worry about right now than changing that.
Thank you.
Okay, Trenton. While employee pay has significantly increased over the last several years, more progress is needed. How would you fund further increases?
Tax increases. That's point blank and simple. We can't run away from property tax increases in the city of Cookeville. Our budget is not solvent on the city level. We're basically living off interest. If you take a look at all the financials from Cookeville, our fund balance depletes year after year after year. We're spending more than what we're bringing in. And we have limited amounts of avenues to bring in more money than property tax increases. So I know it's probably going to sound a little bit unpopular, and we've been kicking the can down the road for a long, long time in the city, but property tax increases are coming, people. You just have to be prepared for that. Whether it comes in this council this year or the next year, they are coming. And so the people that you are electing to the city council this year are going to have to make that decision. And we're going to have to take it to the proper elected officials in order to get you more money in your pocket in order to pay for those. That's the only fair way we can do this. And respect our employees at the same time.
Thank you. All right, starting with our second round of questions, we will start with Ollie. And homelessness appears to be a growing problem in Cookeville. What would be your solution?
Homelessness is a very complex issue, and there's not a solution. It's a lot of partnerships. We need to advocate to our state and federal legislatures to really start giving more money to the states to handle these. Often homelessness is a result of many things. Affordability is one instance. We've been very innovative in our housing options and having options for affordable homes. But in addition to that, we need to tackle the mental health crisis we have in our nation as well, and being able to treat people so they can become productive members of society again is a way to do that. And we need that from a federal and state level.
Thank you.
Chad, should Cookeville elect a mayor instead of electing 5 candidates who traditionally have voted for the top bidder to become mayor?
I like the system we have. I've worked other places where they council by district, or they will compete. You will have to declare to run as a mayoral candidate. And in my estimation, what that does is that runs the risk of eliminating talent that you would rather have on the corporate board at large, I should say. And I like what we have. Everyone gets to put their hat in the ring, gets to answer questions like that, put themselves out there as a candidate. And that puts the decision in the hands of the voters as to who gets on that council. The mayor's vote counts the same as everyone else, and it's run more like a traditional board of directors. We benefit when we have access to everyone being on the same council. Whereas if you run a dedicated mayoral race, you run the risk of people that lose may have been people you prefer to have on the council. So I like what we have.
Thank you. Next question is for CG, and it is, some Cookeville residents have complained about the new residential flag lot developments on South Walnut Avenue where houses are being constructed in front of and behind existing houses. Do you support this type of development? Why or why not? And if not, what should be done about it?
So I read an article recently about the accessory dwelling units, which are what those are called. And in major cities, it has been an answer to the affordable housing crisis. I know that a lot of people don't like the looks of it, but affordability is such a need, especially in the housing market right now, and that is one answer to conquering that. So I support it, and this city has specific zoning laws, so not anyone can just do that. You can't just pop up one wherever you want one. As long as they're following the zoning codes, I support that as an option to combat affordable housing.
Thank you.
This question for D. What do you consider to be the city's most urgent infrastructure need?
Oh, good question. I don't think that I can answer that just by without consulting with current administration? That's a tough question, and I know that the people that asked that question would like a defined answer, but I think it would be reckless of me to answer that without the proper information. And anything that we do, consulting with a team, as I've mentioned before, and making sure that we find answers to those problems by thinking and moving strategically, responsibly, and also purposefully.
Thank you. All right, the next question is for Kelly, and it is, could you drive up and down the streets north of Tennessee Tech on 12th Street to Dixie Avenue and just look at the beautiful campus, but a block away, 10 cars are in the yard, cornfields in the front yard, trash everywhere. Can something be done about this area?
Something can be done through our codes enforcement. Mr. Mark Loftus is over that. Title 13 actually addresses blight, and there are issues with blight. It could be a public safety reason. It could be, a health hazard, and also just an eyesore, which is listed there. But I do think that there is a polite way the city can enforce this. Sometimes it just takes education. There could be a renter or someone that doesn't quite know all of our codes and enforcement. So I believe if we can just communicate those properly, and then of course there can be some enforcement after that.
Thank you.
Okay, Luke, do you support a proposed east-west connector road in the city? Why or why not?
This will be pretty quick. Absolutely. We need it. Obviously, everybody knows about traffic, right? It's becoming, we all sit in the, I was listening to something, even Chad, he was on a podcast the other day, and I was listening to him. We all sit in the same lights. We all sit there. We all have the same frustrations. We get them too. We don't get any special lights on our car to where we get to fly through this stuff and get around it. We sit there too, and we are very adamant about trying to get some of this fixed. So absolutely, I would totally support that. That's great infrastructure that we need to address.
Thank you. Nick, the next question is, what can be done about the loud mufflers and racing motorcycles and cars on city streets?
Apart from Cookeville police really paying more attention to where people are street racing or things of that nature, many of the cars, like the current Mustang GT, that is a street legal vehicle that is by far one of the loudest vehicles that you can buy. But it's street legal. You can't change anything about that. And if you write someone a ticket, they're still going to drive their car because that's what they have for transportation. So I think many of the things need to be paid more attention to, a little bit more to safety and preventing people from revving needlessly or even street racing in the town.
Thank you.
This question's for Sam. Cookeville Regional Medical Center is a city-owned hospital. Do you support this arrangement? Why or why not?
This is another one of those, if it ain't broke, we don't need to fix it. I absolutely support the current arrangement and don't see any need to change it.
Thank you. Next question is for Sam Raper. The recent Dodson Branch annexation request took 18 months and required a public referendum in the May 5th primary, during which only 31 people voted. Do you support this current system, or would you support a change to state law to allow annexation without a referendum when 2/3 of the property owners agree to be annexed?
No, I would keep it the way that it is. I think it's important that if we're going to annex a community, that they want that, and we don't just grab them and make them. So, no, I think it's fine just the way it is. But we could do a better job probably in asking them to come to discuss what the issues may be, so that they would be more informed and know to the thing we need to vote.
Thank you.
Trenton. Does the city council have a role in deciding what content is available in the Putnam County Library? Why or why not?
No, they don't. Our city council currently, we have members that sit on the city council that spend a lot of time in places where they don't need to be, creating culture wars that don't need to happen. That's really pretty much inflaming the situation that's going on right now. There's certain people on the city council by doing these things that are making Cookeville an unsafe place to live. The quality of life is diminishing because of it, and something needs to be done about that versus things that are sitting in the library physically that people could just find online.
All right. And that concludes our second round of questions. So now we are on to round 3 with Ollie. Do you support the City Council's decision to use $4 million in hotel motel tax funds toward the construction of the new football stadium at Tennessee Tech? Why or why not? And if not, what should those funds be used for?
I do support that and have supported it and voted for that. Hotel motel taxes by law are earmarked for to market your community. It's for, to market your economic development, those types of things. We felt that the addition to the stadium would help bring in tournaments, stimulate our economy through that, through championships, through concerts, those types of things. Because we will now have a state-of-the-art venue, and that's a perfect use of those funds. And we couldn't use them for any other purpose anyway.
Thank you very much.
Chad, according to the most recent information from the U.S. Census Bureau, the median household income in the city is $51,375, and the per capita income is $29,350. What can the city do to improve that?
So as it happens, I actually saw some numbers from the chamber the other day that were reported from the Tennessee Department of Revenue that our average median income, or AMI, is actually approaching about 63,000. So I'm optimistic and delighted to hear that it's on the uptick. That being said, as a city council, our job through initiatives like our community development, through partnerships with the chamber, our job is to make sure that we are discerning about jobs that come to our area, provide high wages, and solve as much of that side of the equation as they can as we look to affordability challenges. When people make more, they can afford more.
Thank you. All right. Our next question is for CG. The average price of a home sold in Putnam County last month was $345,000. What can the city council do to encourage affordable housing for residents?
I wish that there was an easy answer that the city council could fix that concern. There's so much that goes into the cost of housing that is out of our control. The things cost what they cost: construction, materials, running the public works, and all of that goes into play. So I think that, kind of to play off what Chad said, if we bring in employers that are hiring and paying higher wages, then we can, as a whole, afford something a little more because our median household would continue to go up. So I think that's really the only thing that city council can do, is to partner with Chamber, the Highlands Economic Partnership, make sure that we're getting those higher paying jobs in. That way we as a community can afford more.
Thank you.
Dee, how do you feel about supporting nonprofits like WCTE with city tax dollars?
So my background is in nonprofit, and I've seen what nonprofits do for people. I've seen what nonprofits do for encouraging, building community development, for being there for people that need it. And so I would try to work out a way. My vote would be yes, if it was a vote, for city council to be involved, to continue to be involved. I know that they have some involvement with donating money to charities, to nonprofits. And I would love to get the opportunity to be a part of the city council that continues to do that for the future.
Thank you. Next question is for Kelly. Cookeville currently doesn't define data centers in the zoning code. What regulations should there be for data centers in the city?
Well, I reached out to Mr. Mills talking about this issue, and currently, you're right, we don't have everything defined, but we do have some restrictions there. And currently, we don't have the capacity to have a data center. And I do think that this is something that we might probably should define in the future. I do think that data centers really use a lot of our infrastructure with the electricity. I'm not a huge fan of them. But I do think that that is something that we could look into defining those. But currently, there is a safe system in place.
Thank you.
Luke, what projects and operational expenses would justify a property tax increase?
Oh, property taxes, what would justify a property tax increase? Man, that's a tough question. I don't really like raising taxes if I don't have to. It's hard to say what would justify that, but maybe, man, that's a hard one. That's one of the ones I struggle with myself, to be honest with you. Because again, we do not want to be raising property tax if we don't have to, and try to do everything we can to keep it low. So honestly, for me, that one is that's a tough one. I would honestly want to seek some counsel. I want to talk to some individuals to see exactly what's the best option. Because like Dee said earlier, it's a team thing, and we need to discuss that as a team. So that's where I would stand on that.
Thank you. Nick, the next question is for you. Some of the candidates running this year are significant developers or business owners within the community. If elected, how and when would you identify if your vote might be a conflict of interest with your personal business, and will you excuse yourself from the vote?
Well, I can tell you right now, I am not a property developer. I don't have any extra property other than the house that I live in. So I would not be the person that would be involved in that kind of or need to recuse myself from such an issue. So at the moment, I'll be honest, that is my answer.
Thank you.
Sam, what do you consider to be the city's most important community facility need?
Well, I have to praise the current council and past councils for basically, it seems like things are in pretty good shape. We have the new police station that has come online. Our fire stations are being constructed. Our parks are in good shape. There is the possibility of extending the rail trail out to Cane Creek Park, which I think would be a great move. Currently, the only way you can get to Cane Creek Park is via your automobile. You can try to walk, but it's not safe. And so I'd like to see the rail trail expansion out to there. Other facilities wise, perhaps let's build that park on the south end of town as well.
Thank you. The next question is for Sam Raper. That was fitting. Do you support the extension of the Tennessee Central Trail that currently extends from the Cookeville Depot to Allgood? If so, how would you fund it?
Yes, I do support that for the reasons that Sam just said, specifically the walkability and the safety part of it. And I also think that the rail trail has the opportunity to be an excellent source of tourism here. I know it's support places like Nick's bicycle shop, and it's one of those things that would fit very well in our community. I think that there's plenty of ways to pay for it, grants and partnerships, but I think it's important that we look to do that.
Thank you.
Question for Trenton. The city is the primary provider of community facilities used not only by Cookeville citizens, but also by residents of Putnam County and the surrounding communities. Should the county participate financially with the city to complete future such facilities?
Yeah, of course they should. I mean, everybody around us, we're the hub of the Upper Cumberland. Not everybody who goes to Cane Creek Park is from Cookeville. Not everybody who visits West End Park is from Cookeville. They're from surrounding areas and surrounding counties, or surrounding counties. So I think Putnam County should pay its fair share, contribute its fair share into the maintenance of parks, the building of parks, that overall increases the quality of life that we have not only here in Cookeville, but also for the residents countywide as well. Personally, I'd like to see more investment in the West End area, the old Bushtown side of town. I would love to see that. Also, would love to see some development in Monterey as well. But here we are at this Cookeville City Council, but talking about county issues. But yes, Putnam County should be giving or should be donating or contributing money to the city of Cookeville for the upkeep of facilities.
Thank you. All right, now we are on to our final round of questions, and we will start back at the top with Ali Baji. As part of the annual budget, the City Council voted last month to give $160,000 to 19 nonprofits based on the recommendation of a committee of city residents. Is that the current system working well? And if not, how should it be changed?
I do think the current system is working well. We have a committee of citizens who are tasked with making that decision. But on top of that, when a nonprofit comes and solicits for money, they have to provide a plan on how they're going to use those dollars, and those dollars have to be reported back quarterly to see if their plan has come to fruition and where they are with those dollars spent. So there's accountability already built in, but with anything, it's always worth revisiting, and we may decide as the next council to either take that responsibility or leave it at the committee level.
Thank you.
Chad, should the city give incentives to businesses that want to locate here? If so, what type of incentives? And if not, why not?
Yeah, I would agree with that. And not only would I agree with it, but we're already doing that. It's had positive impact. We've recently seen ribbon cuttings on technical companies like Volinor, who are a battery recharging station for drones, which is exciting to think about. We're getting that kind of industry here. When we make investments, whether it be through TIFs or pilots or some of these tax abatements that end up having a payback period that's positive for the city, it attracts those high-paying jobs that, again, I mentioned before, we want to be deliberate about recruiting, because that contributes to the business of the city. It contributes to the folks that work there, our communities. $1 something, I think, replicates 7 downstream. And the impact of that is so positive. It contributes to the affordability issue that we're all hearing about and trying to solve for. So yeah, I think there is a spot for us to partner with recruiting those businesses and enabling financial incentives, because we want them here.
Thank you. All right. Next question is for CG. As the city's population grows, more city employees will be needed to provide services such as police, fire protection, public works, and utilities. How would you fund those additional positions?
So I think with all of the growth that we are experiencing and all of the industry moving here and the retail moving here, that's going to put more money into the general fund. So we are going to need to hire more people, but there's going to be a lot more money coming in through the projects that this current council has been working on getting here. So as a business owner, I try to, of course, skim the budget, see where we can make adjustments, but we're going to have more going into the pot. So I think that we're going to be okay and be able to afford hiring those new employees because of all of the local sales tax money that we're going to be getting from these new projects, hotel motel tax from all of these tourism events. So I think we'll be good.
Thank you.
I'm just going to say it now. I wanted CG's question, but
You were ready?
I was ready.
Well, Dee, here's your question.
Gotcha.
Some candidates have already promised to donate unused campaign funds to local nonprofits. If you have residual funds, what is the nonprofit that you'll be supporting?
So that's a good question. I want this one. I would have to say the two that are near and dear to my heart that pop off at the top of my head would be, of course, the exceptional bean. That's been important to me, important to my family. I think it's important to recognize the exceptional being as somebody that employs people with disabilities or that need other services, and that helps them get acclimated to the community. It helps them feel like more of citizens of the community and not somebody that you look down upon with a different perspective. So that's one. And then the second one is the Cookeville Regional Medical Center Foundation, charitable foundation. Yes, I am a board member. I serve with CG on that board. But part of the reason why I accepted the nomination to be on that board is because of all the great work that they've done. All of the medical supplies and medical things that they provided for people in need. And I feel like that shows that we are a community that wants to lend a hand, help, and give people what they're looking for.
Thank you. Next question is for Kelly. Since 2020, our city police department has responded to 93 crashes involving a pedestrian, including 78 with injuries and 2 fatalities. What safety standards and infrastructure should be implemented to prevent these injuries and deaths?
First, let me say my heart just goes out to the families that have experienced loss through that and suffering injury. But I do think first that we can start with education. The more that we can educate people about just the proper ways pedestrians should walk down the road, facing traffic, wearing bright colors at night. Also just helping enforce that, asking our police officers to really be making sure that people are walking properly on the streets, following crosswalks, but then also just making sure that we do have clear crosswalks for people to pass on, things like that. Also just really good sidewalks and good curbs for people to be able to walk and be safe. But I'm just, again, my heart just goes out. This is a serious issue and it does require serious attention.
Thank you.
Luke, what can the city do to encourage the redevelopment of currently unused properties like the old Bob's Body Shop and the Southern Motel on Highway 70?
Well, most of those are privately owned, so that's the bill. Whoever purchased those, and I know one of the purchasers, just if he wants to do something with it, he needs to do something with it. We don't need to go in on private property and trying to tell them what they need to do with it. That is their property; they bought it. If you want something done with it, reach out to the person who owns it, see if you can buy it, and go buy it, do something with it, make it beautiful again. Do what you think is right, but I think there's not much you can do with properties like that that are privately owned by somebody.
Thank you. The next question is for Nick. The city often shares costs with developers to extend sewer. How do you balance that with extending sewer to areas that still don't have it?
Well, as a person in the city who does have a septic tank and a recent, I say recent, 10-year-old plus apartment complex for Sword got sewer, I believe that if they were going to extend to that apartment complex, that should have been part of what they have to kick in to be able to have sewer to them. They should have, that and the city needs to, if we're going to grow the city in this regard, that needs to be a public service that everyone in the city should be able to take advantage of.
Thank you.
Question is for Nick, or excuse me, for Sam. Could have Nick on one. Sam, some candidates have raised a lot of money in this city council race. What is your motivation for running?
I am not one of those candidates. My motivation for running is Cookeville has grown quite a bit in the last decade, longer. Even in the last year, we've grown by over 1,000 people, according to the latest Census Bureau estimate from 2025. In that, we are also in an affordability crisis, and there's just a lot of issues that I think I have some different ideas to bring to the table for how to address those. So my main motivation for running for city council is to help make this city better and help manage our growth responsibly and in a way that benefits all citizens.
Thank you. The next question is for Sam Rayford. And it is, of all the government bodies in Putnam County, the Cookeville City Council currently has one of the most open policies for public comments during meetings. How do you feel about that policy, and would you do anything to change it?
I think it's one of the best policies we have. And I wish that some of the other, like the county, would adopt that as well. So I think it's important that our residents have the opportunity to speak at any meeting about whatever they need the council or the commission to hear about. So one of my main focuses is to be a listener. And I think that one of the major ways that I would be able to listen.
Thank you.
And final question, Trenton. Cookeville's recreational facilities are in constant demand. Last month, 2 groups attempted to reserve the Dogwood Park Performance Pavilion on the same day for 2 different events. How should these types of disputes be handled?
Well, for those who don't know exactly what happened, we had a Juneteenth event on June 19th, Friday. It was Friday, June 19th. NAACP rented out the Dogwood Park Center, and at 8 o'clock we were met by a group who wanted to book the same facility for the same date next year for some other purpose, disregarding the fact that Juneteenth is a national holiday and that we have a national organization trying to celebrate there. It did feel, I was actually aware of that situation. It did feel quite motivated, quite purposeful, the reason why that's done. But however, our city recreational facilities policies, they should include an application process and also an appeal process as well for situations like that, where we do have federal holidays that might want to be recognized as for to increase the quality of life that we have here in the city for residents who want to celebrate those holidays. That should also be in play too. I'm not sure if we have that appeal process currently, but that would definitely increase the quality of life for folks here to know that there are organizations who can actually celebrate holidays that were meant for them on those actual days.
Thank you. You're right on time.
Thanks.
All right. That's our last round of questions before we start our closing comments. Can you all give our candidates a round of applause, please? So we will start with Ali Baji. You have 2 minutes.
2 minutes, wow. Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you. And again, this has been an honor to be able to speak tonight and be asked probing questions and our opportunity to express our ideas and our philosophies on certain things. And as elections, as the polls open, I would just certainly appreciate your vote. I've had the honor of the last 4 years to be able to serve and give back to a community that's invested so much in me over the years and given to me. It's an opportunity for me to give back to my community. I've given while serving in the military, and I'm just too old and fat to do that now. So this is a great opportunity for me to give back to my community and serve my neighbors and people I love and my friends. And so I would just respectfully request your vote in August.
Thank you. Chad Gilbert.
Lindsay, Jim, thank you all again for hosting tonight. I've been your city councilman for the last 4 years, and the Cookeville we know has achieved a lot of milestones in that period of time. I'm proud of what I've accomplished in that same window of time, but the best is yet to come. When we look and consider what the next 4 years looks like, and we think about the folks that are putting themselves out there to have that decision made, and I want to compliment everyone here tonight. Let's take a minute just to think about the folks that are taking time out of their schedule to be here, and how important this is to test and to ask questions of the folks who say, hey, we want to make those decisions, and we want to be in that seat driving this for the next 4 years. And those decisions will have implications for decades to come. Now, my family and I, we have raised our family here for a lifetime. And I think about that, and what I think about as I talk to voters, and I'm excited about all the fire stations and the road work that we've done in my tenure as a council. But what's really rewarding is when I think about being on the front line and being there at the table, when as a councilman, you're asked to make tough decisions, but you're able to do that through the lens of, hey, what is best for Cookeville? And I want to put forward tonight that my experience, my knowledge, the judgment that I've shown over the last 4 years sets me apart. And so I'm here to ask for your vote to lead for the next 4 years. I appreciate you coming tonight, and thank you so much.
Thank you. CG England.
I want to thank everyone for coming as well. I did not have this on my bingo card to run for city council, and I didn't make this decision lightly. It was something that Michael and I talked about for months, and I went and met with Lauren, and I went and met with James and John and everybody that has served previously, several people up here with me tonight. If I'm going to do something, I want to be really good at it, and I want to educate myself, and I want to serve at my best ability. And someone told me that whenever you say yes to something, you're saying no to your family and to your loved ones, because whatever that yes is, you're taking time away from them. And everyone on this stage has decided to say yes. So even though we don't agree on every single thing, I think that all of our hearts are in the right place, and we want what's best for Cookeville. We want to be in the room where the decisions are made. We want to determine what this city looks like in the next decade, because the seeds that we're going to plant are going to take time to develop, just like we're reaping the benefits of former councils right now. So I would be honored to serve. I love Cookeville. I am a business owner. I'm a nonprofit founder. I am very involved with Tennessee Tech. I can't wait for what's to come with Tennessee Tech, that new stadium. My husband is the most excited person about the stadium. Maybe him and Bobby Wilder are the top two most excited people. But we're excited to live here and to help this city grow. And I just want to be part of that decision-making process. So I would really appreciate your vote. And I will do my best, and I will make decisions that will affect the greater good. So thank you so much.
Thank you. D. Prince.
Thank you to everybody who had a hand in organizing this event, hosting this event, here tonight to attend, to listen to us, watching, locked in with us tonight. Thank you to these people that are on stage. As CG and Ollie and Chad mentioned, that we're giving our time away from our families to be able to put ourselves out there. I've said this before, and I think that everybody is born with a bucket and a shovel. And you have the opportunity to use your bucket and be filled up, or you have your opportunity to use your shovel and go to work and serve. Just letting you know, winning this election, whether you vote for me or not, winning this election, I still work for you. When I think about Cookeville, kind of piggybacking off of Chad talking about the future, I imagine the next 4 years going along the lines of the preamble to the Constitution of the United States of America. The beginning of the preamble says, we the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union. It doesn't say we the people of the Republican Party, we the people of the Democratic Party, we the people that are independents. It says we the people of the United States. In order for us to form a more perfect Cookeville, it has to be we the citizens of Cookeville. When you vote responsibly and think about the 5 people that you want sitting in those seats, bringing you an experience for the next 4 years, please think about who is going to do the best job, not who has the most signs, not who has the most representation, but who you feel is going to give you that experience for the next 4 years. I'd appreciate your vote. Thank you.
Thank you. Kelly Parkinson.
Thank you to everyone that's here tonight, those watching, and of course, Herald-Citizen and WCTE. I have been telling people recently that the past 6 months have been an absolute blast for me. I call myself a student of the city. I have just taken a deep dive into the way that our city runs. I have met with every department head, read our city charter, read the 2030 plan, read as much as I can in the 2050 that's available. I've met with Bucky Key at the hospital. I'm meeting with the airport next week because I believe this is a job. And you guys out there really are the employers that are hiring. And I believe when I am applying for a position that I need to be prepared as possible. And so I have been studying and learning and trying to gain as much knowledge as I can so that I can be a voice for all the people. But I feel like I'm a better person having done this, having stepped out. And I have just fallen even more in love with my city by doing this. And I have met so many amazing people. We live in an awesome city, and I am so thankful for that. But I also think that this is a crucial time. I mentioned earlier that I have 6 children, and their futures really matter to me. They are my biggest investment in this life. And so I care about Cookeville today, but I look down the future. And as I mentioned, I hope I have 1 million Parkinson grandchildren. I look down the road of Cookeville, and I want it to be an awesome place for them. And I want them to feel the way I feel about Cookeville right now. And so I'm asking for you to consider me and to please vote for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Luke Eldridge.
Well, like everybody else has said, thank you, Herald-Citizen, WCTE, and everybody else here at the CPAC for having us and putting this on. Thank you all for coming out. You've got to hear a lot of interesting questions and some interesting responses. But when I think about why I want to serve yet again, I sit as your vice mayor. I've had the experience for 4 years. I've learned a lot, obviously, over that, but I want to continue my service because it is, for me, it's a service. It's laying down my life, laying down sometimes even time away from my family, my wife, my kids. My kids understand it. My wife understands it because we all have servants' hearts. And trying to make Cookeville the best for them. Like Kelly said, I don't look at 4 years. I don't look at another 4. I look long term, and that's for you guys, and that's for even my family. But the other thing is, I just haven't shown up during campaign seasons. I have always been serving this community for 2 decades. I've worked with the homeless. I've worked with mental health, substance abuse. There's so many things I have my hand in. I help with Salvation Army. I'm the contact for Salvation Army for here in Putnam County and Overton County. My heart is just to serve, and I don't know how to turn it off. So I want to do it another 4 years, and then after that, I will serve yet again. It may not be in a capacity, obviously it can't be in another capacity as city council, but I want to serve this community because I love it so much, and I want to see and make sure that the Cookeville I grew up in, my kids are able to even have that luxury. Because they're not going anywhere. They're staying here. They're not going anywhere. They're not leaving to go somewhere else. I will help them stay here, do everything I can to keep them here. But because Cookeville is that important to me. So I do appreciate your vote coming up. And you have to remember that if you show up and vote, you have a voice. If you don't show up and vote, you had a voice. And everybody needs to show up and vote. Thank you.
Thank you. Next time.
Well, just like everyone else, I would like to thank WCTE, the Herald-Citizen, CPAC, the staff here at CPAC for putting this on. As a longtime bike mechanic, as a person who has been a resident and lover of this town, and even as a prior service veteran, this town means a whole lot to me. It's a town that I was willing to give my life for. But, those things work out differently. I am grateful to be here. I would like to be another person who can help on Cookeville City Council. And I hope that people will look at that and vote for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Sam Matson.
I will also echo my colleagues' praise for CPAC, Herald-Citizen, WCTE, all of you all who came out to show your interest in us and our ideas for how we move forward as a town. Knocking on doors has been one of the most rewarding aspects of
running for office than I didn't really expect that to be. But it has been very eye-opening as well. I recently met somebody who is struggling financially on a fixed income, not very mobile, doesn't own a car, and they were telling me how difficult it is to basically exist here, and that they felt like they had fallen through the cracks. And to me, that's not good enough. We can do better. And that story is one of many for our town. Now, the town charter does say that one of the powers of the city council is to provide safe and sanitary housing for people with low income. So I don't think it's good enough to say that as a council, there's not much we can do. I think we have to be creative and really push the boundaries of what we can do. Can we amend our charter to be a home rule town? Can we establish various fees or perhaps luxury taxes on high value real estate transactions? We need to be exploring these options and let people tell us no if that's not what they want. But I think we can look to make things better for everybody in Cookeville by thinking outside the box. And so I'm going to bring those kinds of ideas, and I would appreciate your vote if that aligns with you.
Thank you, Sam. Sam Raper.
Okay, thank you to everybody who made tonight possible. Thank you, Jim and Lindsay. Thank you guys for being here, for participating in community. Like many people who live in Cookeville, I work multiple jobs, and I still feel the pressure of rising housing and living costs. This has shaped my perspective, and it reminds me every day why local government matters and why working families deserve a seat at the table. Throughout my campaign, I have met many people from every neighborhood and background and political perspective that's there. And while we don't agree on all the same solutions, I have found that we do agree and have many of the same hopes. We all want a city where children can build a future. We all want our neighbors to feel connected. We all want local businesses to succeed. And we want working families to be able to afford to live here. If I'm elected, I don't promise to have all the answers, but I do promise to listen, ask thoughtful questions, to work with anybody that I need to do what's best for the city, and to listen and learn as best as I can, and to help Cookeville become a place where people can afford to stay and thrive.
Thank you. Trenton Stroud.
Awesome. Well, I've heard my other candidates that are here that I don't have to vote for too say that this job is a service. They're right, it is. I've heard some other candidates say that they want people to feel the same way about Cookeville that they feel about Cookeville. I do too. I love this city. This is my hometown. This is where I was born and raised. But right now I don't feel very good about Cookeville and the way that the leadership here has been going. If you haven't noticed, there's signs that have been put out that have 5 people's names on them to run for city council that have been put out by the Putnam County Republican Party. That's for a purpose. That purpose is because they want those 5 people on this council to further an agenda, which is most of our local politics has been focused on who belongs in Cookeville and who doesn't. And when our city government spends time identifying groups as problems to solve, eventually those neighbors feel less welcome here and they leave and quality of life diminishes. I believe that Cookeville is stronger and safer when our leaders stop dividing our neighbors into us versus them and they start focusing on everybody. People want to use the public office to mold our city's character. And with me, you're not going to get that. You're going to get the Cookeville that you've always known and you've always loved, and the one that I love, and the character of the city that I was raised in. I also want to thank WCTE and CPAC and the Herald-Citizen as well. This has been a great event. And yes, I do agree with Mr. Chad Gilbert. The best is yet to come.
Thank you. Let's give another round of applause for our candidates. We really appreciate each of you being here tonight. It's not easy to get on stage, we know, and answer questions when you don't know exactly what is going to be asked of you, and to give all the thoughtful answers that were given tonight. We really appreciate you being here and your participation. So all 10 of these candidates will be on the ballot on August the 6th in our Putnam County general election. Polls are open that day from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. And then early voting begins Friday, July 17th and ends Saturday, August 1st at the Putnam County Election Commission office on County Services Drive. And then in addition to all of the 5 Cookeville City Council seats, other local offices for election include Allgood, Baxter, Monterey Council, Allgood and Monterey Mayor, countywide offices are Sheriff, Putnam County Mayor, County Clerk, Circuit Court Clerk, Trustee, Register of Deeds, and also 3 uncontested school board races are on the ballot. So if you have not already registered to vote, the deadline is Tuesday, July 7th. You can do that at the Election Commission office, or you can go online at govotetn.gov. You can use just with your driver's license or photo ID issued by the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security. You can register in just a few minutes if you haven't already done so. If you want to learn more about our candidates and contested races, visit the Herald-Citizen's website at herald-citizen.com and click the election tab at the top of the screen. We've made that content available for free during the election season. And we'll also be publishing the sample ballots in the newspaper from the Putnam County Election Commission in the Wednesday, July 8th edition of the Herald-Citizen. Thank you all for attending, and good night.